Hello everyone, welcome to Elliott Wave Forex.com YouTube channel. This is Henry. Today is Wednesday, July the 1st, and the time is 3:30 a.m. GMT. So for today, we will be looking at the chart of silver. This is a 60-minute chart here. We can see the metal continues to extend higher nicely. Okay. We could see right here, this is a wave 4 right here, this pullback to $17 or $16.9. From there, that means we are within the wave 5 on the upside. And wave 5 should be subdivided in 5 waves. So you can see right here, we have this wave 1 in red. So that will be wave 1 of 5. This is your wave 2 of 5. Now we are in the wave 3 of 5. And we should have 4 of 5, 5 of 5. So, a couple more new high, a couple more highs before we potentially finish a wave 5. Now this is a very interesting metal, to be sure, right? And let me show you some of the larger degree and give you an idea what we can expect. Now we can talk about gold to silver ratio and everything else, but I won't go too much into depth with all the analysis. Now we'll be focusing primarily on the 1 hour chart right now, which is the shorter cycle here. Now if we take zooming out a little bit, looking at the daily chart first. Now we can see right here, this is the sell-off in the COVID-19 scare, right? A lot of assets around the world sold off, indices also sold off, and so on. So we found the low here, and since then we start to recover, right? Haven't been able to go back to the previous level. This is the pre-COVID-19 sell-off, but getting close, right? Getting closer. Now let's put down some of the labels here. So this is your wave 4. So that means this is 3, and that means this needs to be in the 1 and 2, right? So what we are seeing here then is a potential 5 waves rally that still needs confirmation by breaking above this 18.4, which is the previous wave 3, but I think it's very likely we're gonna do that. And if we do get a break above this 18.4, that should confirm the 5 waves up from the March 19 low, and that will suggest that copper most likely is already turning higher, right? Turning bullish. Now, a 5 waves, like you know, is going to be bullish. So that means, but that also means potentially after we end the 5 waves, this cycle can be finished, and we can get another pullback. Technically, can correct the entire rally. So the correction doesn't have to be very big, but it can technically, you cannot rule out, let's say, even a 50% correction. Alright, or 61.8% correction. You cannot roll that out before silver resumes to the upside. Okay, so if that is really a 5 ways up, like we are proposing here, then you should be getting a 3-ways pullback and then higher again. But remember, the 3-ways pullback doesn't necessarily have to be that deep. Sometimes it can go back to the previous wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So let's say we finish this 1, 2, and then let's say a couple more higher, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then potentially maybe to around $19, let's say, give and take $19 to $20, right? And then it can drop in 3 waves like this. Doesn't have to be too deep. It can go back to the previous wave 4, right? So going back to around $17 again. Then after that, it can continue to go higher, right? So that's sort of what we are proposing here with this count that you see now. So shorter cycle, as long as we stay above 17.34 here, these dips you can continue to find support and then continues to extend to the upside. Now let's take a look at a couple of other alternatives here. Okay, now what is there even a more bullish interpretation? Is there even a more bullish count? There is actually a more bullish count, but it is too bullish. It is too bullish that it is kind of hard to even give it as a possibility. It is possible, but it is too bullish. Now the next possibility is actually that this is in fact it is a 1-to-1 to a nest. Now this is extremely bullish, extremely bullish, something like this, right? 1-to-1 to, and therefore in my opinion probably it's too bullish, and therefore it's not a good idea to speculate on something like this. But then is there a possibility of something like this happening? Now if we take a look on the weekly chart, you can see right here silver around this level. This is a major sort of resistance. If you just use a simple trend line, you can see from 2014 we got the descending bearish trend line, and then we have a horizontal line. Everything basically has a confluence around this level right now, around 18.5. So one can make an argument, right? One can make an argument that if we do get a close, a decisive close above it, right, some long-term trend line traders, right, would suggest that that's actually a breakout, and if that happens, it can actually find more energy to rally even higher. Now in that kind of scenario, I can see the possibility, right, if it really happens like that, that this is a 1-to-1 too. But then again, it's really too bullish to count it like this, right? Too bullish, because then that means we are only in the wave 3 of 3, which is going to be really skyrocketing if that happens, right? Skyrocketing 3, 4, 5, and that will only end with 3, and then it's just gonna be it's like going up very fast, right? Going up very fast. Now doesn't mean it's impossible. Silver has, if there is any instrument that can do something like this, right, probably it's going to be silver, right? But it is too bullish, so therefore the sort of the default right now is calling it as a 5 waves. If we can break above one more time, that will end you know, like a wave 5, and then we might potentially starts to do another 3 waves pullback. Now interestingly, currently all the risk assets rally accordingly, right? Even in the indices also the same. From the March low we keep rallying. Now the strongest one in the market right now is of course the high-tech stocks, right? High-tech stocks. So for example, if you take a look at the Nasdaq, right? If you take a look at the Nasdaq, it's kind of almost similar, right? Nasdaq, you can see right here from the March low. Now Nasdaq already broke above the pre-COVID-19, but same idea that if this is you know, doing the same sort of cycle from the March low, it is hard to see how the Nasdaq from here, let's say this is your 1 and 2 for example, and then now it's the wave 3. Very hard to see that, right? Because we got a very shallow pullback all along. So that still suggests that Nasdaq most likely is going to end somewhere here after finishing up 5 ways up from March low. Then maybe needs to correct first, right? Needs to correct that 4 months rally, and then if it wants to go higher, then it goes higher again. But this cycle may be finished as a 5 waves, sometimes pull back and then higher again. So in a similar way here, when we look at the silver right here, if they use the same, if they are moving in the same cycle, then that means it makes sense to think that, okay, well, this is going to end 5 ways up from March low and then do a pullback first before potentially attacking again one more time this level here, $18.5, $19, right? So we can break a little bit and then maybe you know, like a pullback and then higher. Now again, the alternate simply will just be skyrocket, right? The alternate simply will be just going up, going down. Okay, if this trend line is going to hold and is a real breakout without any pullback, then that means we can break out, and then maybe in the pullback is just retesting the same trend line again, and then off we go higher again in silver, right? So that will be in the alternate scenario. Otherwise, we do continue to see if it is going to be really 5 ways, then I think the right side is going to be higher in silver right here. And I also make another video on the Pan American silver over the weekend, and that will be actually a leverage play on silver, right? Because if silver moves higher, then the silver miners move even higher and even faster than the underlying metal. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the video. But simply, if we just focus on the short term, then it is very simple. As long as we continue to stay above 1734, this looks incomplete. And again, somebody that just doesn't care about long term and all this analysis simply can just look for 100% target, for example this one, and looking for something like 18.5 next. I mean, for somebody that just simply wants a very quick sort of um, target on the upside and things like that. Okay, so I'll see you all again tomorrow. Remember, we got a 4th of July promotion right now, so you can subscribe 2 months from the price of one. The promotion is going to be limited. I mean, it's not going to go on forever, so if you can take advantage of that if you are new. As well as we have up to 50% promotion in all of our educational content, so you can also take advantage of that. Because the sales is not going to be, maybe it's just only for a few days. All right, and as always, we also have 14 days free trial. I'll provide all the links in the video here that you can click and see if you are interested. All right, so see you all again tomorrow. Have a nice day, everyone.